Hey Overthinkers, my name is Courtney and welcome to the Overthinker Guide. So I just want to say, vlogging is hard. That's what I want to start off with. I recorded a lot. I recorded a lot of footage for you for this trip. But actually like talking while I'm there, barely did that this time. I am sorry. It's harder than I thought. Anyway, so for our next series, this is the beginning of our next series, and that is my Virgin Voyages cruise. But before I went on my Virgin Voyages cruise, I was in Puerto Rico for 2 days because the ship was leaving from Puerto Rico. So for today's video, it's going to be day 1 in Puerto Rico. So apparently I've been to Puerto Rico before. I don't remember this at all, but there's pictures to prove that I was in Puerto Rico at like around 2 or something like that. My parents were still together and I don't remember them ever being together. So that just shows you how long ago it was. So this is technically my second time in Puerto Rico. And like, I'm gonna be honest, I had so many things that I wanted to do there, but then as we got closer, I just said, nah, I'm good. So like, I wanted to go to the rainforest, the El Yunque rainforest, and I ended up not doing that. They also have a bioluminescent bay there. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to do that, but like, I definitely want to go back to Puerto Rico. That's fast forwarding a little bit, but I definitely want to come back. Let's just talk about day 1. I want to share. So my dad sent me this article, and you might have seen it. Richard Branson came to the Atlanta airport, and for those who were going to Puerto Rico that particular day, he gave them all free Virgin Voyages cruises. So dad said, oh, you missed this by a day. And I looked at when this happened, like I fully read the article. It happened the same day I flew down to Puerto Rico. It just happened like in the afternoon and I went in the morning. And I'm not mad. No, I'm mad, but I'm happy for those people that got the free cruise. They were blessed. Everything happens for a reason. But I'm not gonna lie, I was a little mad. I was on my way to a Virgin Voyages cruise and I could have got an additional free cruise. It's okay. So that happened day one. But so yeah, I flew early in the morning and we landed like around 12:30. And this was because we scheduled our global entry interviews for 1:30. So we flew in so we could go ahead and get that out the way. I will say also when we landed, I was really worried that we were getting charged roaming charges because I saw the little R above my network thing. And I was like, I thought Puerto Rico was a part of the United States. I thought it was part of it like a U.S. territory. And it is. But if you do see that in Puerto Rico and I think Virgin Islands, that's domestic roaming. So double check with your phone carrier, but typically they're not going to charge you for domestic roaming. It's just, roaming because it's not a part of the mainland United States. So don't be scared when you see that. I was scared to make any calls until I got that sorted out. So my mom had wheelchair assistance because she, ever since she had been diagnosed, she can't walk like super long distances at a fast pace. Like she definitely can't walk my pace like through the airport, so she just opts for wheelchair assistance. So we had the person, pick us up from the gate, but he didn't know where the office was for global entry. He didn't even know what I was talking about. So it took me a while to find exactly where the office was because I had looked it up beforehand, but I was kind of confused once I was inside, like where to go. Google Maps made it look like I had to go across the street somewhere or, like across the path somewhere, but finally I found it. So if you're flying to Puerto Rico and you want to do your global entry there, what you would do is after you go to baggage claim, go all the way down towards the end. It'll be towards the right as you're leaving baggage claim. The doors at the end, it'll lead you right to the global entry office. So they won't let you in. You do have to have an appointment to go inside the office, or if there's already people in there doing an interview, you have to wait until they're done, and that means you gotta wait outside. Thankfully, it was hot out there also, by the way, but thankfully there was either someone finished up their interview or, it was time for our interview. So we were both able to go in. You can do 2 interviews at the same time. So she had hers, I had mine. So after our global entry interview, we tried getting an Uber to go to the hotel, and I don't understand why it was so difficult for me to get an Uber. So I did have to turn on my data because for some reason I could not hook up to the airport Wi-Fi. But every time I got a driver and it said that they were on their way or that they were 1 minute away, it would cancel and try to look for another driver. And it just kept doing that. And I don't know if it was an app problem. I don't know if it was the internet problem. I don't know if there were other reasons why the drivers were canceling. Because I was surprised that there wasn't a surcharge price, because usually at airports there's like a surcharge. So it was like $13 for every ride, and I thought maybe that's the reason why they kept canceling. So then there was like taxi drivers next to the Uber station, and one of the drivers that came up was one of the taxi drivers that was standing right there. His picture matched, the license plate matched from the Uber app. So I was like, oh, okay, he's literally right here. But then as I started walking towards him, the ride canceled. And I was like, did you cancel the ride? Like, what's going on? He was like, oh, I'll just charge you whatever it said on the app. I was like, okay, it says $13. And he was like, okay. And so we got in the van. That is the only reason why I got in that van, was because I saw the license plate and his picture on the Uber app. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten in there. So he drove us to the hotel. The hotel was only like 13 minutes away, if that. Like, it was a very short ride. And we went ahead and tipped him, and it was only cash. He did not have cards, so thankfully I had cash. So me and Mom both had cash to pay him with, and we only tipped him $2. We probably should have tipped him a little more. But we got to the hotel. We stayed at the Hyatt House San Juan. It's nice. I liked it. The lobby was nice, and then we went up to the front desk to see if we could check in early, because at this point it was like 2:00, and I don't think check-in was until 4 or something like that, or maybe 3. I don't know. But we were not able to check in early. So we decided to change because, like I said, it was hot, and I had like a track suit on, like a sweatsuit on. So I changed first, then Mom changed, and then she was trying to find her shoes, which took a long time. So basically, by the time we were done with that, and we had given the woman at the front desk our bags to hold, the room was ready. So we were like, oh, well, we got our bags out, and we went up to the room before we decided what we were going to eat. So here is our room. We had a microwave and a refrigerator as soon as you walk in. It was also a connecting room, which I wasn't a fan of, but a room is a room. And here are the double beds, showing off the closet space. And we have our desk area and the TV. And then I tried to show off the view. It's not much, but it's definitely better than staring at a wall. I've had a couple of rooms where the view was a wall, which was disappointing. So this was nice. And there's Mom. Hey. Lastly is the bathroom. And I'm a fan of walk-in showers, so I liked that we had a walk-in shower. They do have ADA rooms if you need the bench, so that's helpful. There's some artwork on the bathroom wall. And that's the end of the tour. The woman at the front desk, I believe her name was Norma. Very nice. Very patient, because I know I was probably getting on her nerves. So she was very nice. My original plan for day one was to go to the food truck park in Myanmar, and then maybe go to an art museum after. And this would have been around lunchtime. And then for dinner, it was either going to be a restaurant near Miramar or go to the T-Mobile Distro, which is, if you're in the Atlanta area, it is extremely similar to the Battery. It's like so similar to the Battery. It's almost like, well, minus the baseball field. it was just reminding me of the Battery a lot. It was just a little bit smaller. So what we ended up doing was, because by the time we kind of caught our breath and were up into our room, it was time for dinner. Like, we weren't going to do, all the art museums would have been closed because they closed like around 5. And I didn't feel like going to the food truck park. So we just decided to go to the T-Mobile Distro after looking at the restaurants to see what they had to eat. So we got on the complimentary shuttle that the hotel has, and it drove us around. So the shuttle stops at the beaches in the Cantado area, I'm pretty sure. Then it stops at Old San Juan. Then it'll stop at the T-Mobile Distro, but it actually dropped people off at Hyatt Place first, and then it went back to the T-Mobile Distro. So Hyatt House and Hyatt Place, which are right next to each other, both use that complimentary shuttle. So we took the shuttle, and I think I know why he did that. So we knew how to walk back, because the shuttle stops at 6 o'clock, and we knew we were going to be leaving later than 6. So I think he had done that so we knew how to walk back, which was nice. So he dropped us off, and we went in. And they do have like a metal detector, so you got to walk through that. If you're driving your own car, they do have parking. I don't know how much it costs. I'll try to find that out for you. If you drive your own car or rent a car and you drive it to the T-Mobile district, they have parking for you. And there's an area you can walk out for parking. So at the Distro T-Mobile, I've been saying it wrong. So at the Distro T-Mobile, they have different shops and eateries and hangouts there. They have a big open space, and they also have a concert venue if there's concerts. So again, if you're from the Atlanta area, then that's why I'm saying it's similar to the Battery, because it's almost like the exact same setup. For those who are not from Atlanta, I would say it's a smaller version of like downtown Disney or Disney Springs. So the restaurant we ate at was Arena Medalla. Arena Medalla. I don't know how to say it, which I didn't even realize was a beer, but apparently it's a beer. It's a sports bar. So they were showing the football game. And I think they were also showing a golf match and a tennis match. So it served mostly like, your typical American fare. It felt touristy a little bit, but like also still, Puerto Rican. I got really the chicharrones. But it was the chicken chicharrones. Chicharrones. We got the chicken chicharrones as an appetizer. Really, I got it. I didn't know what it was at first, but realized it was just like deep fried chicken, like really deep fried chicken. My mom said it was similar to Korean fried chicken. I don't think so. I think it's a different type of texture, but it is just really crispy fried chicken. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. And then we both got burgers, I believe. Oh no, we didn't both get burgers. I got a burger, and then Mom got chicken wings. They had ranch chicken wings, and it's not like ranch seasoning. It's actually like tossed in ranch sauce, which was interesting. And they also had onion rings, but I got fries and she got onion rings. So this place is similar to me, like to the Punch Bowl Social. If you have a Punch Bowl Social in your city, you know what it's like, but otherwise the Punch Bowl Social is a restaurant bar type situation, but it also has games. So the games were closed when we originally got there. By the time we left, it was opened, but they had games upstairs like tic-tac-toe, board games, billiards, things like that. They also had karaoke, the karaoke rooms. I feel like if I was just going to Puerto Rico, I probably would have done the karaoke, but because I was going to be going on the cruise ship that had a free karaoke room. I said, I'm good. Oh yeah, they also had like an arcade games too. Now, if you are going to Puerto Rico and you go to the Arena Matella, it's $25 for a small room. $25 an hour for a room up to 5 people. They have more rooms for bigger people. It's a higher price. I wasn't listening though because it was just 2 of us. So yeah, after dinner was good. After dinner, we walked around the T-Mobile Distro. Again, it's not that big, so we didn't spend too long walking around. And then we walked back from the hotel, and it's about a 12-minute walk. We wanted to get there before it got like really dark, so we went ahead and went back.
It's real late, I'm awake and shit. Ella in my head, plus it's so loud in here. Underneath these LED lights, and I'm glistening, it's stumbling towards you.
So when we got back, this is when my mom realized that she didn't have her insulin. My mom's diabetic, by the way, sorry. So she didn't have her medicine because at first we didn't know where she left it. We thought, because earlier that day, which I forgot to talk about, when we were going through security, she had left her water bottle at the check-in desk for our luggage. So I had to run out of the security line to go get her water bottle and came back in, and we were like almost at the top. So we thought maybe she left it somewhere. She did, but we thought maybe they took it out of security and they forgot to put it back in. And I was like, I feel like they would have put it back in, or you would have noticed that they took it out, you know? So we thought if that was the case, that it was at the airport and it was lost forever. Thankfully, later we found it in the car because we had parked our car at one of the off-site parking lots for the airport. So thankfully it was at least in the car, but she did not have her medicine, and I was freaking out because I was like, oh, we're gonna have to go to a pharmacy and try to find like if they can fulfill your prescription before we get on the ship. It was like a whole thing. She ended up not being careful with what she ate, and she was fine for the week, thank God. That was just a very stressful moment that night. I was stressed because this was her birthday trip, so I wanted everything to go like smoothly. So it was just really nerve-wracking when we weren't sure if she was going to be okay because she didn't have her medicine. So lesson, always make sure you have your medicine with you for your trips and for your vacation. If you don't, call your pharmacist or call your health insurance or who's in charge of your medications to see if they can transfer the prescription elsewhere, which we were going to try to do, but we ended up not because we weren't sure about if whichever pharmacy we go to would have it at all, because this particular prescription was a little bit hard to get even on the mainland. So anyway, so that was the end of day 1, filled with stress. So day 2 will be the next video, and that also kind of got ruined, but I'm getting ahead of myself. It was a good day. It was a good day for the first half. Second half, still a good day, but I'll be doing the mixology tour, so it'll feature that. We flew in 2 days ahead, so still not embarkation day, so it is going to be a full day in Puerto Rico. If you like this video, please leave a like down below and consider subscribing for the next one so you'll be notified. Please leave a comment if you've been to Puerto Rico before. What's one of your favorite things to do? Have you had trouble getting an Uber out of Puerto Rico, or was I just tripping? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Until the next video, I will see you later, Overthinkers. From a still night, there's another man on my mind. It can't help, don't feel nice. 10 says I need to get that gift right now. What my heart
for the moon.